So, hi everyone, and thanks for joining me for the 13th Bulbacast, which will be E3 reactions. So, today we have Evie,
Hey.
Glik,
Hello.
Guzma,
It's your boy.
and Slife.
Hey, what's up?
So, Glik, I think you wanted to go through the main highlights from E3?
Yeah. Started off with an E3 conference. They announced things like Battlefield 5, some sports game, what everyone wanted, more Star Wars Battlefront 2, bunch of DLC for that. Some more sports game, a Command and Conquer mobile game that nobody wanted, and BioWare's new game Anthem had a bunch of gameplay of that. Then we had the Xbox conference, which announced everything. Halo Infinite, Crackdown 3, new Forza, new Metro game. From Software's Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, which was their big tease at the Game Awards. Devil May Cry 5, Jump Force, which is Shonen Jump's all-star game with Naruto, One Piece, and Dragon Ball Z.
And Death Note.
Yes, and Death Note. Gears of War 5, Dying Light 2, Tales of Vesperia coming out on modern consoles, and they ended the show with Cyberpunk 2077 hacking into the conference. Then there was, I think there was something else in between that I didn't watch because it's tiny. So Bethesda had Rage 2, the sequel to Doom, Doom Eternal. New Wolfenstein game. Looks like it's going to be a side game, not like actual Wolfenstein 3, but it's Wolfenstein Youngblood. Showed off or gave more details about Fallout 76. Announced a mobile game called Elder Scrolls Blades, and they're working on a new IP called Starfield. And that's all for that conference.
You kind of forgot a tiny little detail here.
No, I don't think I did. They didn't say they were working on anything else.
They did say they were working. Yeah.
Elder Scrolls 6, people. It's happening.
In half a decade, at least.
They did say they were working on it.
They said they were working on Starlight, and then after that they were working on Elder Scrolls.
If we get to beat up the Thalmor, it'll be worth it.
Praised it.
Well, after that, the Devolver Digital had their funny little conference. Most of their show is actually just made to mock the video game industry at large, not really announce much of anything. After that, I think it was the PC Gaming Conference, which was a bunch of smaller stuff. No real big names. I think the largest was like Telltale's new Walking Dead game. Then we had Square Enix, which showed off gameplay of Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and some other things like Dragon Quest XI, Just Cause 4, something called The Quiet Man, which is the goofiest name for a video game I've ever heard. Announced a game by Platinum called Babylon's Fall, and showed off the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer that they released like 2 days before, but with like 20 extra seconds on it.
When you walk away.
Octopath Traveler sounds more goofy than The Quiet Man.
Maybe. I don't know. Then there was the Ubisoft conference, which I didn't watch because I don't care. The only thing of note, Just Dance 2019 announced for the Wii.
That's great.
Sony showed off gameplay mostly, not a lot of reveals. They had Last of Us 2, the Ghosts of Japanese word that I will butcher if I try to say. Spider-Man. They actually did reveal the Resident Evil 2 remake, and we got another trailer for Death Stranding. and we still have no clue what that game is. And finally, Nintendo, which just some small stuff. Something
And
called
not everyone was there.
small stuff like Damon Cross Machina, Super Mario Party, new Fire Emblem, the Three Thrones, I think. Some Xenoblade Chronicles 2 DLC, and a little bit of Smash.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Nothing important.
No.
Excuse me, I hit it big. You're already fired.
Sorry.
Okay, so we already have one person fired.
Will anyone in this live cast survive inside? That's what we'll find out. Remember, you can be rehired if I decide.
So that makes a lot of announcements overall. So my first question will be, what was your favorite highlight, your number one highlight from E3? Evie, if you want to start.
I mean, out of everything that was announced, all the games, all the stuff, there's like two that I'm likely to ever play. And one was, well, Evie and Pikachu, which we already knew about because it was announced a few weeks ago. And the other is Elder Scrolls 6, which we know nothing about because we're not probably going to find out anything for a few years still. So I'll have to go with the fact that my favorite moment of E3, that would be the Smash reveal, because it was just too awesome, even though I don't actually play Smash.
So Smash, even though you don't play it, all right.
Yeah, because it was just, it was so very well done. Like, it was a textbook lesson in how to build
I can agree with that. Glik, what about you?
Well, it would have been Metal Wolf Chaos, which was one of the games that Devolver Digital announced. It's a From Software game from like 2004 that never came out in America. It's this really goofy mecha fighting combat game that like nobody knows about. Really small. Would have been really excited, except they kind of spoiled that the day before on Twitter.
Womp womp.
Yeah. So, greatest highlight would actually be Devil May Cry 5. While even though I knew that was going to be here for like 4 months in advance, it looks a lot. It's something new. It's not just a remaster of an old game.
Okay, Guzma?
I have to say that the Elder Scrolls 6 was one of the big reveals for me, and also Ridley, of course.
They're double fired now.
It's 11.
Slife?
Actually, Kingdom Hearts 3. E3 conferences, Kingdom Hearts 3, they drop little bits of information, nothing too major, but this year E3 just got the spotlight. It got different conferences, Microsoft, Sony, and Square Enix. This was a year for Kingdom Hearts 3, and it just got me really hyped. The point that they pushed it back another year.
Oh, very into January. Kind of strange.
I swear to God, if I have to kill Aqua, I will break my game disc.
It's Kingdom Hearts. You never actually kill anybody. It's got to be everybody's friends at the end, and yay.
So Smash took a lot of time during the Nintendo's E3 Direct. So we have a Smash question. Who's your favorite new Smash character? or your favorite character overall? And who do you hope will still be introduced? Evie?
That's a good question. Like I said, I don't actually play Smash, so I'm glad to see the cross, like the characters from other consoles that have made it over the years, like Cloud and Snake. I'm glad to see them coming back, and I'm glad to see Pokemon Trainer back. I'm very glad to see Leaf getting her chance in Sun after getting skipped in so many other games.
Or Leaf.
Yeah. Well, now she gets her turn. So go Leaf. And wow, my favorite new character, it's not like there's much choice up there. It's Daisy or Red Lake. So,
Or Inkling.
or Inkling. That, well, we already bought it. Sorry. I don't know. I just, well, technically Leaf character, some you say Leaf.
Alright, Leaf then. Any character you'd like to see introduced, maybe?
That's different. I like that. Could be correct. Not well. I suppose we. No,
Luigi.
nothing really that comes to mind.
I didn't catch that.
There's nothing really that comes to mind.
Okay. Glik, what about you?
Snake was the highlight of the reels for me, knowing that Konami's playing ball again. New characters. There's actually a leak going around right now saying that Simon Belmont and like 5 other characters are to be revealed. The leaker kind of got a spotty history. Like, he leaked that the Resident Evil 2 remake and Devil May Cry 5 would be at E3, so good for him. But then he also said like a bunch of other characters were going to be in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite last year that weren't. So it's kind of got a spotty track record for it.
Simon Belmont's in the game. You can reenact Captain N.
Right? Wait, Mega Man, Belmont, Link. Who else was in Captain N?
Pit.
Pit and Captain N?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's it.
Well, we'll also need to have Teenage Skateboarder Alucard from Captain N then.
Oh God, no.
And a character you'd like to see introduced?
No, Simon Belmont.
Okay. Guzma, what about you?
Well, Ridley was the big one for me. Get it, big?
Your voice is going to die eventually.
Actually, come to think of it, there is a character that I think would be nice to add, and that's King K. Rool from the old Donkey Kong game.
I want Lanky Kong.
Because we don't have, like, we have the big bad from most of the series. Characters are in Smash, but we don't have any of K's big bad. It'd be nice, I think, to have K.
I guess the character I want the most, probably Sora.
Okay. Slife, your favorite new Smash character and one you'd like to see introduced?
In terms of the returning characters, definitely cool to see Wolfpack, Falco, and it was also nice to see the Ice Climbers return to Melee. Had a lot of fun playing those characters back in the day. Character I'd want to introduce, someone already mentioned Sora, that's definitely. Shovel Knight's another one that I think I could possibly add, that I know a lot of fans want.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'd be cool with that.
I think if they were going to add Sora, this would have been the reveal for him. Since it was like everybody gets together kind of thing.
Chance for DLC.
Maybe. maybe.
So, who in Europe?
DLC,
Yeah, excuse me, go ahead.
DLC on the release of Kingdom Hearts 3, and a perfect combination would be if they release Kingdom Hearts for the Switch. That would be perfect.
Yeah, don't know. Since I think they were trying to sell Kingdom Hearts 3 like as all new hardware or something. There's something about like using a new engine for it that I don't know if the Switch would have enough power for it.
And console in terms of power.
Which console was Kingdom Hearts 3 announced for?
It's PlayStation 4 and Xbox One.
Okay. So who in your opinion had the best show during E3? Evie, you already kind of answered that, but
Nintendo stole the show and completely dominated it.
Glik?
I think Xbox actually won. Like they had everything. They had at least twice as many as every other conference.
So quantity over quality, or?
Well, it's not just quantity. They also had a lot of big name things that weren't like tied to Xbox or anything. They had the new FromSoft game. They had Devil May Cry 5, Metro, the Cyberpunk games. Everything else really only had one game, if any, that I was interested in. So Xbox definitely won for me.
Aren't most of those going to be available on the PS4?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Xbox didn't bother with just exclusives. They just got everything.
Guzma, your favorite show?
Probably Nintendo and Bethesda. Bethesda because, Elder Scrolls 6 and Nintendo.
Because your old pal Ridley's involved in Smash now. Ooga booga!
And Slife?
I would have to agree that Microsoft had the best conference this time around because they just gave the fans what they want, just churning out new games, new trailers, just cutting out all the unnecessary stuff all that cringy in-game commentary that so many conferences. And just show us the games that we want to see, and Microsoft did that.
Yeah, Microsoft seemed to treat it like a normal E3. Like everybody else was trying to do something different.
And Sony just had some really cringy moments in their press releases.
As far as giving the fans what they want, I think it can't be everyone is here. That's the single most giving the fan what they want moment of E3.
Yeah, but that was just the one piece of Nintendo.
Yeah, but it's been dominating all the talk about E3 ever since. Like you don't want to have a lot of things that a lot of people talk a little about. You want to have the one big deal that has everyone buzzing. That's how you dominate it. That's exactly what Nintendo did.
I mean, it dominated the day it was revealed, but like afterwards, it kind of died down immediately because at the end of the day, there's only 2 new characters revealed.
It really hasn't died down like.
And they also kind of revealed the character everyone wanted since, Brawl, so,
Waluigi?
Nobody cares about Waluigi. Like, you've got first-rate characters like Mario, Bowser, and you've got the second-rate character like Wario and I don't know, Dave. And then you've got the third-rate character like Waluigi that nobody actually cares about. Exists just to fill a hole in games that only have the Mario cast.
Waluigi is one of the most popular Mario characters among the internet, probably because of Brawl in the Family.
Yeah, but the internet is often known to be very stupid.
He's just a meme.
Waluigi, number one.
How do they add Daisy but not Waluigi?
Waluigi is
Well,
in the
they
game.
could
He's
because
just an assist trophy.
because they could actually make Daisy a Nico fighter of Peach, but they can't make Waluigi a Nico fighter of someone else. So they have to design a whole new character for him.
I want
They'd
them
have to make him as surreal as possible.
Yeah, it's easy to make it Daisy. Just take Peach and change the colors. It's not easy, Waluigi. So they're not going to bother because he's not important enough.
I want them to put in Waluigi, but all his attacks are just based on Mario Tennis.
That could be fun.
And his final smash is him swimming up in the air before he just smashes a tennis ball at everyone.
His final smash is literally a smash.
So,
Because he's Waluigi, Emmy.
Can someone tell Maniacal Engineer to stop asking silly questions?
so yeah, you just asked why is Waluigi the greatest character ever? Um, I guess we know the answer, Evie.
Because the stupid meme and the internet love its stupid meme. That's the only reason anyone think Waluigi is great.
I think at this point it just wants you to fire him. So thanks for telling me which was the show you deemed to be the best. Now I'll ask you the opposite question. What was, for you, the worst show during E3? Evie?
Well, of the two shows I've watched, because I totally wasn't going on this Bulbacast, but then no one else that she watched either, so I decided to save you guys. And well, clearly, if I think Nintendo was the best, then by definition, the other one I watched, which was Bethesda's, was the worst. That also means that Bethesda's show was the second best. So
Glik?
Well, it's the only conference I didn't actually watch, so Ubisoft loses by default.
Alright. You just didn't watch it because you don't care, right?
Nope, I don't care.
you're not actually qualified to comment on the quality of the Ubisoft conference, Kevin. Yeah. You have to pick one of the ones you watched.
Why?
Well, because by definition, you can't comment on the quality of something you didn't watch, or like you have to have seen it to know if it was good or not.
Well, I've seen previous Ubisoft stuff, and I know it's not going to be enjoyable. It's just going to be Assassin's Creed and like one or two other franchises I don't care about.
I don't know if they did the same thing this year. You can't comment. You have to pick one of you watched.
So yeah, amongst those you watched, which was for you the worst?
Probably the PC Gaming Conference. It was just a bunch of smaller indie games, not a lot of big names there at all. I think Just Cause 4 and Telltale were the biggest things. Although they did show this one cool game. It's an open world RPG where you play as a man-eating shark.
Wait, what?
That doesn't sound so bad.
Yeah, you're a shark swimming around somewhere on the Gulf Coast, and your goal is to just eat people and level up.
I'm a shark, I'm a shark, I'm a shark.
So Guzma, what about you?
I didn't watch anything other than the Nintendo one, but I'm just gonna say EA because nothing EA does interests me.
Well, I have to apply the same rule to you as I did to Glik. If you only watch the Nintendo conference, then by definition, it was the worst conference of E3 for you.
Well, it didn't introduce Sora, so it did do one thing wrong.
See, that is a good way. The worst conference of P3 you watched was the Nintendo one.
And it was also the best.
Yeah. That's what happened when you only watch one conference.
It's the only one I cared about.
That makes it the worst and the best.
Slife?
It was EA, as usual. Nothing really notable. And so proud of themselves for removing microtransactions and loot boxes. They're the ones that introduced them and caused all the backlash in the first place, and now that you just remove them, you think you've done something good?
I think they deserve a prize for basic human decency.
On the plus side, it was probably the that EA fans were most eager to hear. So, highlighting it makes sense.
So, is there anything you wanted to see during E3 but didn't get to see, aside from Sora as a new character? Evie?
Sorry, I missed the question.
Is there anything you wanted to see during E3 but didn't get to see?
Well, because I would have liked more Pikachu and Eevee footage and actual gameplay. We saw some, which was cool, we saw bruh, but, I feel I don't know much more about the game than I did before E3. So that's kind of disappointing in that level. And, of course, well, Bethesda being troll, just showing us a postcard of the next Elder Scroll. I would have liked to get some more details on that. But
they have to actually come up with the details first.
Yeah, okay. We know you think it's going to come up in a decade or so.
I don't even think it's going to come out on modern consoles.
Well, we know it's not going to come up in the current generation of consoles because Starlight is designed for next consoles, and Elder Scrolls 6 is the game after that. So my expectation is that it will come out a year or two into the new consoles and generation, whenever that comes out. Like, I'm thinking Starlight will probably
Starfield
will probably be release title or so for when the next generation console hit. Starfield, yeah, sorry. And after that, like a year later, maybe get to the other Scrolls.
Glik, what about you?
I would like something on the Final Fantasy VII remake, because they just recently scrapped the year or two of development they'd had on it and started over from scratch. So I like something. Any idea where they're at on that?
Okay. Guzma?
Well, I was hoping for more stuff on Elder Scrolls 6 and more footage of Mega Man 11. Like, I want to see what the other robot masters' names are.
Nothing new or another game you were expecting to see?
Well, Sora and Smash Brothers, but... And, I was also kind of hoping for a teaser of Pokemon Gen 8, but I knew that was kind of a pipe dream.
Yeah, we're not gonna hear about Gen 8 and more about Gen 8 until at least Pikachu are out.
Yeah.
Most likely it's going to be next spring before we hear more details about Gen 8.
Or January. Didn't they reveal X and Y in January or February?
Yeah, I think it was February, but that was because they revealed it on 2020. Yeah, the 20th anniversary.
X and Y wasn't the 20th anniversary. Sun and Moon was.
Yeah, it was in Sun. I don't know. I don't know when the X and Y were revealed. Actually, let me check.
In the meantime, Slife, if you want to answer.
I was actually hoping to hear something more about the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah.
For that for a while. Last thing we heard about was that they're gonna apart into a 3-part installment. But since then, we haven't really seen much from it. I was looking for some Final Fantasy crossover with Monster Hunter World. But a while since Final Fantasy 15 has been out now, so it was kind of to announce a new title for another spin-off, something. I don't know, it was just kind of something news from Square Enix.
Yeah, I thought a couple years ago, or last year sometime, they had said something about getting a director on board for possibly making 16, but like hasn't been anything since.
Just trying to milk out 15 as much as possible.
Yeah, they gotta recoup the loss since that game took like 12 years to make.
So that's a crossover between Final Fantasy XIV and Monster Hunter that they announced, right?
Yeah, it's part of the next patch.
Okay. Evie, did you find the answer about X and Y?
It was in fact January. So we might hear about it fairly early.
Okay. So the last question on my list, and then we'll switch to to viewers' question. What are you most disappointed by from E3? Evie?
I think I'm going to pick up answer that was given a little earlier that we had about the 7 remake. That would be interesting about, but nothing was there, and like, what? Why aren't you giving us anything? Is this canceled if you decided to give up on it because it didn't work? Yeah, it's just after the news that's come out, it's yeah.
Okay, Glik?
Can I say all of E3?
Oh.
Because it's the first E3 that doesn't really feel like E3. It feels like Microsoft was the only one bringing their A game. Everybody else was just kind of treating it as a side thing. Like,
Okay, so that's just E3 overall, not...
it's not what it used to be.
The sad thing is that even though Microsoft brought their A game, most people are going to buy their stuff on the PS4.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Okay, Guzma?
I think, what's the question again?
What are you most disappointed by from E3?
Sora not being in Smash.
You know, it occurs to me that if we keep giving the same answers to every question, well, our viewer, and I'm not putting that word in plural, that's viewer singular, is going to get really tired.
And I guess the other thing that disappointed me was, I don't know, I wanted to see more worlds from Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, I wanted to see, like, a Princess and the Frog world. I mean, that movie is begging for a Kingdom Hearts. Because, you know, the Shadows and the Heartless.
I want to see Avengers in Kingdom Hearts.
If we have to bring in non-Disney Disney stuff, I'd go with Star Wars.
Oh, Disney now.
So do I.
Well, Star Kingdom Hearts would be the best.
Slife, what were you most disappointed from E3?
Confirmed.
What?
As a
what?
answer, I would say wanted to see more Final Fantasy from Square Enix. Wanted to see maybe a bit more Pokemon from Nintendo.
Okay, so just
I was pretty satisfied by Kingdom Hearts 3.
just the lack of content then?
other than that, it was pretty satisfactory.
Okay. So our viewers have asked some questions. I will have to ask you Maniacal Engineers one. Did any of y'all tune in to the Speed Gamers Pokemon Marathon like he's been telling you to do?
What?
He wants to know if he's watching the Speed Gamer Marathon. Like he's been telling us to.
No, I had E3 to watch.
No, because I'm lazy.
I got constant updates about the Speed Gamer Marathon from Maniacal Engineer in the place. I didn't need to watch. I got all the details from him.
I think they raised like $17,000, so that's good. I just watched the end of it. I didn't watch nothing more than the end of it. So what other questions do we have? $17,200?
That's not bad.
So, Noworry asked, Evie in Smash, yes or no?
Evie is in Smash. It's a Pokeball Pokemon.
Yeah,
Well,
but it's not
I
a...
think they could have. I think they could have gotten rid of Jigglypuff and added Eevee, personally.
I don't know. I think Jigglypuff is more unique in terms of how it fights.
Yeah, Eevee's
With
kind
the
of...
whole leap aspect.
Potential for 8 different evolutions.
Okay, yeah, you could do something with Eevee's ability to evolve differently, but how you would do that, I'm not sure.
Trainer. Like, one character, we use 3 different Pokemon.
Yeah, it's basic trainer all over again.
They should replace Lucario with Golisopod.
Yeah, everyone expected Guzma to say that. Say I.
They should replace all the characters with Golisopod.
I'll go with no.
I'm not sure how Eevee would work, really.
Yeah, and there's a lot of Pokemon already, so I would have to say I'm not exactly all that enthusiastic about the idea of.
Plus, there's what, 5 Gen 1 Pokemon in there?
Jigglypuff, Pikachu, and the 3 with the trainer, and that's at least that I can count.
Yeah, so there's like no representative for Gen 3 or 5 or 7.
4 has representation, Lucario.
Who cares? Lucario sucks.
Good point.
Okay, this thing being discussed.
The Caps fan asked, with regards to Smash, it seems like a lot of hype is being built upon nostalgia and the return of older characters, but not a lot of new stuff is being added. Given this, what are your general opinions on Smash? I've heard many opinions taking both sides.
You have to tell us who's supposed to talk first.
Well, Evie, go ahead.
Well, first off, I'll say that boy, are we lucky that Maniacal Engineer is not with us to answer a question about nostalgia, because he would rant about it for the next hour or so. Personally, I don't mind nostalgia. I think that's needed at this point. But at the same time, is there? Like I said, I'm not enough Smash fan. I'm not in Smash, so I can't say it's good enough. It's not good enough. I'm not the good person to answer that question.
Good enough for me. In last Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U saw that they actually adopted DLC fighters as a concept. So it's not like this release is just going to be what we get on the card. They're going to add more fighters as it goes, so I don't really mind if this is just sort of a baseline game that they just continue adding on.
That's fair.
Guzma?
I don't really mind Smash pandering to nostalgia as long as they don't try and make the game too much like Melee just to appease the Melee diehards.
Well, they can't do that because Sakurai literally didn't know what he was doing with Melee.
Good point. And I guess it doesn't, it doesn't bother me as much as pandering to Pokemon because the Smash part of the appeal is playing with characters who are established,
Yeah,
the entire IP is based on nostalgia.
that's
Exactly.
can't you can't have Smash without nostalgia. It's they go together.
It's the core design.
Slife, what do you think?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people complaining that this is just a Smash 4.5. It's not that different from Smash for the Wii U and 3DS. But Sakurai stated in the press conference that this is built from the ground up. They've completely reworked the mechanics, the techniques. They've added, changed the hitboxes, changes the tilt dash and the waveforms. I know Ganon is actually lighter now, and they made changes to Pokemon Trainer so that he doesn't feel fatigued. So it's definitely not something where they're just copy pasting from previous editions. They've added new stuff to it, and I'm pretty sure they'll add more stuff with DLC because,
Oh yeah, they
as
added
you mentioned, they don't want.
Oh yeah, they added new stuff. Olimar's helmet break.
All their cards on the table right away. They want to keep this game in development for a while and keep pushing it because this might be the last Smash game, at least for a while. So I think they're first in the initial release, they're going to give everyone the characters that they want, and then slowly they'll add new characters and new stages with DLC to keep the game and the community active after the game releases.
And they added Ridley, so what more could you want?
You would stop doing that voice.
Sorry.
Maniacal Engineer, him again, asks, what are your thoughts on the reveals for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Evie from E3? Evie?
Well, Rod looks very recognizable as Brock, and wait, did we actually get any reveal on Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee from E3? I don't think we did much. Oh wait, yeah, I guess there's the reveal that the guy at the door wants a water or grass Pokemon before letting you fight Brock. Which
Yeah.
really it's not that big of a reveal. At that point you're not going to have a full setup. So whatever, just grab a random grass type or water type and shove it in his face and then shove it back in the pee and done. It's such trivial detail people are getting upset about. Like, why are you getting so worked up about a tiny little trivial thing like that? And I see that Maniacal Engineer is ranting about that in the chat.
They also announced that Mew would come with the Pokeball Plus.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yep, pay $40 for a Mew.
Well, it beats.
They have to sell it somehow.
That's
Always. I mean, it beats the old style of, yeah, Mew is in the code, but you can't actually ever add Mew, which is how things used. So I'll take the $40.
And they had events for it back then.
Yeah, at one Toys R Us that's 300 miles away from the play. No, but thanks, but no.
I'd rather pay $40 for a Pokeball with a Mew inside than just for a Pokeball anyway.
Also, I'd rather pay $40 for the Pokeball with the Mew inside than for the gas to get to the Toys R Us, get to them.
I'd rather not pay $40 at all.
Well, you can not have Mew, because all of us played Yellow way back when.
I mean, I've got a Mew. I just have to port it to these games.
So why are you complaining about that?
Because they're actually literally selling Pokemon now.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you, but they've been doing that for a long time.
Since Gen 1, actually. Well, in game, at least.
Yeah, game. But wasn't there a bonus Pokemon you could get for getting? I think it was My Pokemon Ranch or something like that.
I
Which was
think so. It was Mew.
yeah. So it's not even the first time they sell Mew. That ship sailed a while ago.
um,
Your turn.
they also showed some cooperative play in Let's Go.
Oh
They
yeah,
were
the
playing
two
with two
versus one
players.
trainer battles.
Yeah.
Because
Seems fair.
those bug catchers are really challenging.
Uh,
It would be amazing
That-
if they could port that into the new Pokemon 2019 games.
that
Two people challenging the Battle Maison together.
that. But yeah, that part looked. There's not much to say about it. It looked cool.
So
Please don't mention the Battle Mason.
Glik, your thoughts on the reveals for Let's Go?
I don't care.
Okay, Guzma?
I guess I don't really care. But hey, it's a little nostalgia trip, you know?
Slife, what about you?
I didn't actually catch any new stuff that they added in from E3 that wasn't in the trailer, other than the Mew thing, obviously. If they were gonna make a Yellow remake, I'd rather have something that looks better on the Switch than just another release on 3DS. And giving us a glimpse or a prelude into what's coming in store for us in Pokemon 2019. And I actually got some vibes of XD and Gale Darkness just from the character models and the 3D overworld. It'd be nice to see that art style or those sprites come back into main series Pokemon games.
So since we're on Pokemon Let's Go, I'll ask you a question. Will you buy it? And if yes, which one? Evie?
Well, you just said which one I was buying. Obviously, yes, I'm getting it, and obviously I'm getting the e version.
And you're getting the Pokeball Plus?
I haven't decided on that yet. I mean, I've got a Mew in Pokemon Go anyway, so I can transfer that at worst.
Another of the reveals at E3 was that there would be a pack with both one of the games and the Pokeball Plus, by the way. Forgot that.
Yeah, that's true. That was really. But yeah, I have not decided yet if I'm getting Pokeball Plus.
Okay, Glik?
No, I'm not getting the Pokeball Plus.
And are you getting the game?
Yeah, I work for Bulbapedia. Kind of have to.
Pikachu or Eevee?
Probably Pikachu.
Alright, Guzma?
I'm probably gonna get it. If it's compatible with Gen 8, I mean.
So you'll get it? And the Pokeball Plus?
Yeah, I'll get it, the Pokeball Plus if it's compatible with Gen 8 is what I meant.
Okay.
I don't see how it would, unless they're porting the go catching mechanic. Which
I mean, they could just use it as a controller, you know? Like, you know, you could just use it like any other controller.
well, it's only got one button on it, so that's kind of difficult.
True. True. I doubt they'd import the go catching mechanic. They said they aren't going to.
Well, it has all the functionalities of a Joy-Con, so could still be used as a controller.
But it only has one button. It's just a joystick with the clicking as a button. There's not like the 4 face buttons on the back or anything.
It has one button at the top, I think. One at the top and one on the middle joystick button. But I may be mistaken. I don't know. Slife? Slife, will you be
I
getting...
haven't decided yet. I'll probably wait to see more of the game first, but if I do choose to get it, I'll probably go with Evie.
Okay.
My favorite Pokemon.
Well, I don't think we got any other question. So...
we're being very quiet and boring today. They're too busy arguing with each other about nostalgia and generally being curmudgeony and ranting to ask us questions. Oh, Caps fan is apparently asking us something, so
Okay, we'll wait then.
yeah, we'll wait.
Did any of you watch last year's E3?
I don't remember. What was it last week?
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
Is anyone else hyped for The Last of Us 2?
Nope, didn't play the first one.
Oh man.
I played like 30 minutes, but I have the game, but not really, didn't really try to play it, to actually play it.
The setting's just too played out. It's not interesting anymore.
We have a question.
So yeah, the Caps fan asked, one thing that I noticed was absent from E3 was Metroid Prime 4. Now I've never played the first 3, but I know that Metroid has experienced a sort of resurgence amid Samus Returns. Do you guys have any opinion at all about this, or are you disappointed? Evie?
Well, I haven't played the either. I don't know much about Metroid either way, so yeah, I'm really here just to fill the running time by running commentary. I have no party of will you like answer for any Metroid fans. It would be very disappointing.
Glik?
Well, after the initial reveal of Metroid Prime 4, I think I actually said on one of the Bulbacast episodes, I didn't expect that to come out for a couple of years. So I wasn't really expecting it.
Okay. Guzma?
About Metroid Prime 4, I'm not really into the Metroid series, but I guess I still need to get Samus Returns. And I'm not really into first-person shooters, so I'm not really into the Prime series.
Okay. Slife?
Yeah, I don't really have an opinion about Metroid Prime either.
Okay.
Following news on that closely.
Alright. Maniacal Engineer asked, why has nobody mentioned Fire Emblem yet? Rocket Queen will be very disappointed.
I did. I talked about it in the overview of E3, I did.
Yeah, at the beginning.
I think that question is its own answer. We are not talking about Fire Emblem yet because Rocket and who on staff doesn't love to troll Enzo?
Yeah, I have yet to find someone who doesn't like to troll Hanzo.
Yeah, I know. Enzo, we love Enzo, but we also love to troll Enzo.
So, do you have anything to add? Since we're out of questions now? No? No one?
Nope.
Nope.
I think we're pretty much done here.
Alright then. Well, thanks for joining me for this live cast. And thanks to all our viewers for watching. There will be there will be a break in the Bulbacasts because
Okay, yeah, we just telling you to remember to tell people that we're taking a break.
yeah, so we're
Back
taking
what was
we're taking a break in the Bulbacasts series. We'll come back. We'll come back in like a month, I think. But yeah, for a month you will not have any new episode. But stay tuned for the date of the next Bulbacast. Yeah, July.
Alright.
Yeah. Alright then. Well, thanks for watching. The next stream will be on Tuesday, I think. I don't know what I'll be streaming since I finished Pokemon Trading Card Game. But there will be a stream on Tuesday. And that will be at 10 p.m. Central European Summer Time, which is 4 p.m. Eastern, I think. So, yeah, thanks a lot for watching. Thanks, guys, for being with me. And bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.